phase 3 of how to rank a stump grinder in Portland, Oregon. We're going to work more on our local pages and our city pages. So now we're starting to beef up the homepage, right? Where about a month, 2 months in, we're going to start adding some trust signals on the page, why people call us back. Then we're going to start linking out to our service page. We now have areas we serve. So we have a location hub that lists all of our location areas. We've got a little bit of a meet the owner card. Then down here, we're going to start building out our reviews, right? So we want to add another layer of trust. When people come to see our site, they can see, okay, they have all this reviews. Let me go look at them. Let me look at the photos. Let me look at the quality of the job. And what I really love about this is that not only are we touching on the trust factors, right? People can read this, they can see the service that we provide, the quality of the service we provide, what other people have said about us. We can also use this content to our advantage. We can take all of this text from our review data and we can place it on our site. So when you go to think about optimizing your content, you're thinking about, okay, how do I get all of this text on the page, right? Let's say your goal is to hit 3,000 words. Instead of typing that all in the main body of the content and making your customers read that, what we can do instead is we can have these certain areas on page that are what's considered below the fold, where we can start to implement all of our SEO. We can start to enhance our ranking factors without diminishing our customer's experience on the page. And so here is a very clear example of that. In this, I made it so it's scrollable. So I can hide up to as many reviews as I wanted to. Not only that, because we know that bolding terms is a ranking factor, I can go through here and bold all of the LSI keywords. I can bold all the L entities. I can bold all of the just the top level keyword, the keyword variations. And so this is another way to kind of hide the SEO that you apply on the page, right? We don't want to just keyword stuff the main body of the content because we still want our customers to have a good experience when they come to view our site. What's also great about this is when we pull the reviews, we can also pull the images. So it's going to touch on two things. Not only can they look at the image of our work, but then we can start to also the file name of that image, we can put keywords in. Not only that, what we can do is for the alt text on the image, we can also put keywords, keyword variations, LSI terms, entities, and those as well. And so that will also give a whole bunch of information, content to Google to get a better understanding of what is going on in our site. And this will all help us rank higher. Then we'll scroll down here. So now that we're in phase 3, what we're going to start to do is we're going to start to build out our areas pages. So we already built out our privacy, our terms of service, we got a service page, and so we'll also look at those as well. But first, I just remembered, we're going to look at the schema real quick. So this is a better visualization of what is currently going on our page. This is showing us the relations that we have going on when we add certain things in our schema. So we have our local business, right? For our local business, we see we have the schema that's area served. We have Happy Valley. We've got all of these other areas served. And so what we're doing is we're telling Google, and its own language that it's made up specifically for this, hey, these are all the areas we serve. So these are the areas you would want to rank us for when someone's in that area searching for our term. Not only do we have the areas served in our schema, but we also have those individual pages, those individual web pages, so we can target in those areas to rank us. We also have some review data. So in the review data, we have who's the author, and then we also can put the rating, if we got a 5-star or a 1-star or in between. Then not only that, we can put the content of the review on our page again, right? So we have that hub that shows all of this review data, then we can put it in the schema again. And so we're just continuously adding more and more content, adding more and more of these search terms, these LSI terms, these entities, everything in relation to our service, so Google has a complete and better understanding of what we do, what service we offer. So when we go and look at the schema now in its format, its JSON format, we can see here all of the areas served. So we've got Lake, Oswego, we got Oregon City, Happy Valley, Vancouver. We've got Marcus Aurelius, our founder, and then we also have our aggregate rating. Whenever you go and search in Google, if you've ever seen it before, there's that little star rating at the bottom. To get this star rating right here, you have to add schema. Schema gets you what this is called as a rich results. Schema is the reason why this happens. Now, for me personally, I'm going to click on a site that has this because I see the star rating. It's instantly a trust factor, right? And so this is one of the many benefits of having schema on your site. Now, in the schema, we're going to do our hours. We can also mark these images. And later what we'll do is we'll add a description to this to get even more content on the page. So we can see here, we've got the website, we've got reviews, and see, look here, in this review body, this is just more and more content, more and more words that I can get on the page to describe more and more about me and what I do. And we're just feeding this straight to Google in its own language. Now, we're going to view page source, and something that we can do is we can start searching for these keywords, and we can slowly see that over time, the amount of times these keywords show up are just going to keep getting more and more and more. And then also another thing, because we have what would be a exact match domain, when we have links on our page, those are going to help us with getting more keywords on our page. Because think about it. If we have 10 links out, right, and our keyword is in our URL, that is 10 additional keywords on page. Now, let's say you had 10 pages and each page has 10 links. You just got 100 times more the amount of that specific keyword all across your whole site. And so this is just an illustration of how we're just going to keep getting more, and more content, keywords, entities, whatever on pages. So we got this review body. We're putting the review data in here. And let's say you had a couple hundred reviews. You could technically put them in here. And if they start getting pretty verbose, you can almost have an entirely different website in your schema because there's so much content in it. And ultimately, that is our goal. Or that's my goal with my client sites. So now we are starting to build out our hubs, right? This is going to be our area hub. Now, one big thing about creating hubs is what they do is they allow Google to easily find your pages. A big thing that I harp on is that every page should be found from the home within 3 clicks. And an easy way to achieve this is to have these pages I would call hubs. You can also think of them as categories as well. So some big ones are areas you serve, services you offer, and then the last one is a blog, right? What we want to do is if Google goes to the homepage, crawls the homepage, sees that we have a link to our services area page, it will click to that, it will crawl our service area page, and then it will find all of those URLs, go to those URLs and crawl those. And then let's say that that's the only hub we had. That would be what's called a full crawl. It would get to all of our pages. Because we have these hubs, it makes it super easy for Google to go from page to page to page and get a full list of all the URLs. If we had it so that it would have to go to the home page, a service page, another service page, another service page, and that last page had no links from any other page, it could take days, weeks, or even a month for Google to find that page because we have no internal linking structure. So that's why we want to have these hubs. So when Google goes to our blog page and we have 130 blogs, all the URLs are on there. So Google can go and like, okay, I will take all these URLs. I will then put them in my log. So then I know that I need to go and crawl these. So instead of Google having to do that process on 5 different pages to get to the 6th page because you orphaned a page and you have no links to it, it will then now have that blog page that is a hub with all the URLs to all your blogs, so Google can go and crawl everything and find it easily. So now we have our areas page, right? We have links to all of the areas we serve. We're just slowly building out the site. We're just slowly getting more and more content, more and more pages. We're telling Google more about what we do, what we offer, where we offer it, how we offer it, what service we provide. And so we're just, all these pages are just slowly building up. We're still bolding these terms. We're telling Google this is what we're about. Even in the schema, we're telling it the same exact thing. So we have all of these pages, all of these major cities or little cities around Portland. Then we've also, I'm going to close these. We've also started to SEO optimize our service page, our main service that we want to rank for. We started adding some more conversion rate optimizations. We've added these trust signals. We've added even more content. We took the reviews from the homepage and we basically just used it as a template and we moved it over to this page. This, because we're able to reuse this, is going to give us an easy way to get content on the page that is relevant, on topic, and just it's going to be an easy way to get more information for Google to understand more about us. Instead of having to rewrite everything over and over slightly different, we can just have these cards and use them. Now, on this service page, we've got another addition to schema. We have more FAQ. We have more FAQ schema, which just gets more and more content on the page, more LSI terms, more entities, and also using schema by itself as a ranking factor. Getting the different types of schema on your page is a ranking factor. Now, as we keep building and building, notice how our keyword is going up and the total amount we're using it. Now we're at 140 times using the keyword stump. Now, if we had a space, we're at 81. Let's see if we did grind. We're at 38. Let's see if we did removal. We're at 15. If we did grinder, we're at 6. And so by using more and more of these terms on page, Google's going to have a way better understanding of what we're about. So that is phase 3 of building out all of our service area pages, building out our, did we get to the blog? No. So building out all of our service area pages and then our service page hub as well. Then we're also increasing our schema. We're getting those service area pages with relevant content specific to those areas, right? To that specific area. Now we're going to move on to phase 4.